Today on the Rector Show. Tell me what the brain aneurysm felt like, the headache felt like.
I was basically a healthy individual as far as I knew.
50% of people who suffer brain aneurysms die within minutes. Why do the doctors think that you didn't?
Which ended up costing a marriage.
Does that mean you can't feel what you really feel, the emotions that build up inside of you? If you like my look, stay tuned and I'll tell you how to get it. Welcome to the Rector Show. I'm your host, Rector. What do you do when you have a brain aneurysm that almost kills you and it doesn't? How do you change your life and make it for the better? We're going to talk about that today with my guest, Robert Campbell. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
So we're going to start at the beginning and talk a little bit about your brain aneurysm. Tell me how it started, how it was detected.
Back in about March of 1993, I was operating my business that I had in San Antonio doing furniture repair, and I developed a very bad headache. And on the way home to pick up my wife from her job, the headache became more intense, and it was very stifling. I mean, when I got home, it was where I was pounding.
Wow.
And I drove myself to the hospital in San Antonio, and all I remembered at the time was I walked up to the emergency room desk, presented them my ID and the insurance cards, and I woke up 3 days later. And they said that I collapsed at the desk when I walked up to it. I had my cards in my hand, and I must have dropped or something. I don't think I injured myself, but I woke up as they were preparing to set me up for an operation.
So tell me what the brain aneurysm felt like, the headache felt like. Was it just, okay, my head's starting to hurt? Was it a migraine? Did you?
Well, I really don't know what a migraine feels like per se, but it was one of the most intense pains I'd ever known. The throb was just terrible. I remember when I was at my business, I let my men go early that day, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I laid down in my office, and it got so early, so I couldn't even lay down. It was banging so hard. And
Did you try and take medicine or anything?
I think I took some Tylenol, but again, it didn't really help anything. They explained to me what had occurred to me when I woke up, and the fact that I did wake up let them know that there was not going to be any need to give me surgery because they said that the aneurysm had sealed itself.
Now, how does that happen?
They said that it basically clotted. The medications they had put me on had stemmed the pressure that I had. Apparently, I was a person with high blood pressure. And
did you know that beforehand?
No, at the age of 45 or so, you don't really think about stuff like that.
Right.
And when the doctors explained to me that they were in preparation to take me into surgery, first thing I did was reach for my head to see what they had done to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they had not shaved my head or anything for what I would have thought would have occurred. They said that when I aroused from my unconsciousness, they determined by readings of their machines and everything that the pressure in my brain had ebbed to the point where they felt there was no need to go in and do any actual surgery.
So whenever you actually had the brain aneurysm, when you went into the hospital, what did you think was wrong?
I didn't really know what was wrong. I never encountered any type of condition like that before.
Right.
I was basically a healthy individual as far as I knew. I knew that my blood pressure was registering a little bit high because a few months prior I had attempted to re-enlist in the military, and they said that my blood pressure was about 2 points higher than their acceptance level. But they did not indicate it was a problem. They just said it was, what it amounted to is they weren't accepting enlistments at that point.
So, did your high blood pressure have something to do with the aneurysm?
They said it contributed, but the doctor said I had what was considered I think it's termed a congenial, from birth, a weak blood vessel in my brain. It was over here on my right-hand side of me, and apparently it was a minor type thing, but it was enough to disable me for a period of time. A lot of problems resulted with, I guess, personality changes and attitude changes.
So give us an example of what changed.
Well, I went from a person from being a person who was very accepting of individuals, doing what I was told in life, and
right.
Taking care of business as it should be, I guess. But then I got to the point where I had little tolerance for things that irritated me, which ended up costing a marriage because my wife couldn't deal with the problems that resulted.
So what kind of things irritated you?
I was impatient. I found that running a business like I had, I found that I had little tolerance for someone's mistakes when they did not do a job properly.
Now, beforehand, were you more easygoing?
Yeah, I probably was, accepting the situation was such that when someone confronted me with something, I'd end up becoming, I guess, less than congenial, almost to the point where I could be considered hostile. That's all subsided now. I've learned how to deal with it. But even today, though, one of my situations is I've learned how to control my emotions greatly, because it seemed like I had two levels of emotion. One was dire distress, and the other was extreme anger.
And this all resulted from the aneurysm?
It could have been the excuse that I let it all out. I don't know. Having been a Vietnam vet, coming back to the world, as they call it, and finding all kinds of problems with marital situations that work out, I had buried a lot of stuff.
Right.
And then when all this occurred, my level of acceptance and dealing with stuff became such that I was intolerant of things that displeased me.
Now, did the doctor say anything about maybe stress having to do with the aneurysm?
It helped to contribute to the bursting of the aneurysm. When it burst, supposedly it filled my skull with excessive blood that was just filling up my brain area, compressing my brain, and causing it to shut down. Okay,
tell those people who don't know what an actual brain aneurysm is.
Well, a brain aneurysm is where a blood vessel bursts in there. Any type of a broken blood vessel is considered an aneurysm. I think the worst one people hear about is an aortic aneurysm or an abdominal aneurysm, which is usually extremely fatal. The blood vessel burst, and they say that on me I had a little, like a balloon effect on the side of the blood vessel. The balloon weakened and it burst. That was what they said my aneurysm was. They said that it wasn't, it was more like something that there was no controls over it. There was no way to prevent it from happening. It just happened.
Okay.
And the only thing that I know I got out of it was a recognition I've gotten a second chance on life to a degree. And
Robert, we'll be right back with that.